do a little mini video series, and today we're going to be talking about,
well, Coffee and Connect, what it's all about, why we started it, where we're going with it, obviously we met about 6 weeks ago and we've had so many conversations, even up to this point, about where we want to go, why we want to go that direction, and over the last sort of week or so, I think we finally... It's getting there. I think it's being more open with yourself and actually asking yourself those questions that maybe feel a bit uncomfortable, but it all makes sense now. We have a clear direction, and we almost wanted to share with you the elements and the aspects of Coffee and Connect and where it's going to go and how we're going to help you, and the story behind each of those aspects and why we want to focus on them and when it's important to us.
And I think with you saying that, like, I also think, because part of Coffee and Cocktails is about helping people find that purpose and things, and actually, since we always knew the basics of it, it was about empowering women and helping women, but actually working out the how, but until we really got clear on our stories, and then the why, and then now it's also clear, isn't it?
Yeah, because to be fair, it's the same concept that we discussed 6 weeks ago. We've just done like a full loop, but actually now it makes more sense and there's more passion behind it because we're so much more focused. Now we know the reason and the purpose behind it, which leads us nicely into the first element. Purpose.
And I think that is, and I think there's so many aspects of why purpose is important, but I think if you're working quite aimlessly and you haven't got that sense of real, like, this is what I'm getting up for, and that it can lead to, depression and anxiety and things like that, I think, as well. So there's things like that are really important, why purpose is really important.
Definitely. So we had a discussion in the car a few weeks ago about how our ancestors, it's very oldie worldy now, their main purpose in life was survival. So they had to go out and hunt for food, and there was no depression, no anxiety, because they had a purpose in their life. We just do not have any of that. Most of us have a house, heating, clothing. We have to work for that, but it is something that it just happens, it is there, rather than us having to go out and actually fight for that as a purpose. It's quite a given.
Yeah.
It's not something that is like a focus of your life. You don't wake up each morning and say,
in our country.
Yes, we're very fortunate, we're sort of lacking that reason to get up every day. So work is just something we do to pay for everything, but the actual work itself, most of the time, doesn't really have any purpose for you, especially if you're working for an employer. They have a purpose, their little world, but you could just be plodding along.
It is, and I feel that it's so easy to get caught up in it, and then what happens is you get a bigger job or you get a pay rise. And I know that before I was an entrepreneur in my early 20s and I had a job, no matter what, and it was a good job, I didn't have children, I didn't have any spare money at the end. And I think no matter what job you have, you always spend it, but you're spending it on stuff. I can't tell you what I spent that money on.
How much?
But goodness knows. But that's what we're trained to get bigger and better, more and more, and actually
just keep spending. But none of those things, none of those material things, give you purpose in life. They don't mean anything. They're quite throwaway. How many of these? You got nothing for it unless you're working to spend it on travel and you're creating experiences, and then that's your purpose. But if you're just having stuff
that takes that and then costs you money, stuff that ends up costing you even more money, like cars and stuff like that.
You're going to work to pay for the car you drive to get you to work.
Exactly. So I think that's a big part, because what's happened is I feel like, so I've been in business for 16 years, and I just asked you how long, and so you're 15 years. Which is immense, really. So between us, we've been in business for 30 years, and we've tried so many different things. And I think I listed it out the other day, didn't I? And like, for me, I've had a photography studio, a ceramic cafe, a shop, obviously the Keepsake company, which is still going, and that is the one thing that I have had consistently since I started. But because there is a purpose there, but I've turned the purpose of that company into helping women, and not the original purpose of the company, which I think is why this is leading in to where we are. doing.
So there's still a purpose there. It changes as you change,
Yeah,
because
I
we all
think
change,
that's-
don't we?
Exactly. So it's not
it's
being,
evolved.
and I think that's okay. And I think sometimes we think that's my purpose, and they're all quite solid with it, but actually it might flow, and that's okay. So there's that, and loads of other things that I've tried over the last couple of years, like trying to find that thing. Hello, fly. Talk purpose of fly. But everything that I've tried in the last couple of years haven't really gelled, because I sort of knew what I wanted to do, but it wasn't that deep connection to that purpose, which is what I feel that we've got now.
I think for me, the last couple of years become a bit too focused on making money, rather than the purpose. So I get quite bored quite quickly, or it just becomes mundane. I don't know, you're just not waking up each morning with a passion to do it, and you're always sort of, which obviously you've got to look at the figures and make sure that it's financially viable, but when that is your sole focus, the business is never going to work,
100%.
because
and I've definitely
not
noticed
behind
that
it.
if I'm focusing on that, because I've had big overheads in the past, like I've grown the company to have staff and overheads, and so I had to bring in money because I had to pay everybody. That focus, and that I think is where I've really struggled, because I'll grow the company and then that has to become my focus, and then I suffer from depression, so then I
bring it back.
bring it back. So I think that's, so just to let everyone know, like the sort of businesses that you...
Okay, so oh my gosh, where did we start? So we had the Little Print Company, which was like all the sign writing back in the day, print, mugs, hats, before slogan. I had one called the Dancers Den, which was slogan teachers for dancers, back before slogan t-shirts was a thing. That's about 10 years ago. But anyway, we'll move on from that one. It's just having that willpower to stick it out, isn't it? I think
that's a big one as well.
or finding the purpose in it, maybe. Coloured gravel stone for fish ponds.
I'm not even learning. I didn't know that.
We had a hire cabin, which was machinery, cement mixers and things, hiring it out. Obviously, it was all themed, very country and western. We've still got the haulage business. We've had a shipping container storage business, a dance school. I was a co-founder of the Wedding Emporium and the Wedding Showcase, which is like wedding fairs. We did event planning, wedding planning, Cocoa Glow body scrubs, which is still going. I have a family blog, which I had all these big ideas for. But I don't, it's so hard. And I feel that I'm quite passionate about them maybe to start with, but then I realise that's not, like, I love my family, but I don't want to share with you all what I bought in my Tesco shop this week.
I want to know.
No, you don't.
But do you think, because for a while, I'm probably going on a tangent here, but so for quite a while, I've quite loved the idea of being a multi-potentialite, or there's a portfolio career, like that person that can do it all and loves it all and not to pick. But actually, now I've really got clear on that purpose with you, I could forgo everything, and actually everything that I love and that things that I just put on my bucket list, like things that I want to do, we can bring into it because it
definitely
meets that purpose.
Yeah, you can expand a business, can't you?
Yeah.
To fulfil the purpose.
So it's not about picking one thing, because I think sometimes, like if you're like us, you want to do all these different, because it's the creativity of it, isn't it?
Ideas.
Yeah, I mean today we've launched about 5 different companies, very random in our heads, but and I think that's good. But it all still...
Yeah, and it all stems that one purpose. It's finding the purpose. Like, actually, I missed a couple of businesses here. So we also had a website selling organic skincare before organic skincare was a thing.
You're just so ahead of time.
And I always wanted to link it into a charity or doing a good cause. And I've been very fortunate, and so nothing, as much as I feel really passionate about these charities that I've worked alongside, maybe I don't have the emotional connection because I've been fortunate enough not to have to need them, or it hasn't been an element in my life, and so you can be completely passionate about them, but it's just that real purpose that is sort of missing, which I think for me, working with women, encouraging them in business, it's something I understand.
That's what we love. It's something we understand. We've struggled. Sold the t-shirt.
Yeah, we've struggled on our own. We've felt the lows.
Yeah. And I think that's really key for both of us, because I think I connected with you immediately because you were just honest, and that's in a really lovely way, because then it's like, oh, me too, and then you don't feel alone. Whereas I think online, we're so rammed with all the perfect and do this launch and you're going to get this, and actually a lot of people are behind the scenes going, but it didn't work for me, I'm a failure. And actually to be in a room with people going, yeah, it didn't work for me either, but you know, and I think the fact that we've been around 15, 16 years each, you know, we have probably, well, I know I have had so many things that didn't work out and fail, and I've wasted thousands in there, but I'm still going and I still love it, and I think that's the thing, and that it's okay for things not to work out. It's okay for you to do that event and come away with nothing, because you don't know what might come. It's like having that mindset, isn't it? Because I've done so many events and walked away and thought, but I think it's knowing that. Whereas if you go to a coach and all you're hearing is about everything always working, that can sometimes make it is. But that's not to say that you can't make you know, a massive success out of it. But I think you have to go through those. Yeah, and things. Not everything, even if you're an success, not everything you do is going to be a success. But I think once you have purpose behind it and passion, that almost doesn't matter. And I think that's the key. And they say that, don't they? That it's almost like choose what you would do, even if you weren't earning money from it. Yeah. Because that you will have the passion to keep getting up. And I think because what we want is to help empower women and teach women and show people how you can find financial security, and that you are good enough to get up and do that idea you're thinking about, and just to get out of your head. Yeah, because sometimes it might not even be a financial gain for you. It might just be something within your local community, isn't it? It's finding a purpose. And I think without the purpose, it's quite easy to become depressed and suffer from anxiety, because you're not giving yourself anything to work towards. Having something for you. Because I honestly think that my business has been what has saved me, because I've always got somewhere that's mine to go to and think, what can I create now? What can I do now? Creative outlet. Yeah, it is though. But without that, I don't know what sort of state I would be in. Because do you know what I mean? Like, because if I just had to go through the motions every single day, without having that outlet and somewhere to go in my head even. And if it's not business, like you said, this isn't about business. It's about going and do something that really matters to you. And but I also think it's important to say that it's okay to earn money doing that good work as well, because you have families to feed and holidays that you want to go on. So I think there's a bit of a mindset, you have to sacrifice yourself in order to do good. Yeah. But imagine if everybody found their own purpose, and obviously everybody's purpose would be different, and everyone could make money from that purpose, and we all went to work happy. How much better would the world be? This is a real tangent, but my thought today in the car was, what if they capped companies like Tesco's so they couldn't grow past a certain point, and so there was more independent. But what a different world that would be, that all these little people had their own little businesses. So if you were passionate about fruit and veg, go open your fruit and veg shop. Is that because Tesco's don't care? They do not care about. I mean, sorry, Tesco. But sorry. We mentioned a name. All other retail supermarkets feel the same. I don't know. We don't know. But I mean, they don't necessarily care like your local. Like you would. No. It just. Then they might have cared in the beginning. Yeah, but over time, the growth, you can't have that same purpose behind it. Their missions are very different, because you're focusing on the money to pay for the 5 million staff that you're employing. Yeah, and I think it's becoming so clear now, where I look at my journey, in that I know how to grow a business, and I can grow a business. But what I don't want is that big business that you end up having with all the staff and the overheads. I mean, saying that, we do get carried. I wonder if it'd be different now, because it wouldn't be me alone. Maybe, but the route we're going down would be that we would give each woman, man, purpose within the. So it's not we're not growing it as us. It would be growing out rather than up. Is that right? Yeah, growing up cakes. I'm definitely growing out. I'm definitely growing out. It's easier to grow out than up, isn't it? Definitely easier. So does that sort of, I think we've gone off on a real tangent, to be fair. Not quite the video, but I do think it's important. Me too. What else was on our list that we were going to talk about? Is it anything? Was that sort of big topic? It was just that feeling lost without a purpose, and And so just to clarify what our purpose is with this, I think it's about showing, well, one of the things we want to do is to show anyone out there that is at home that maybe can't get into an office or like maternity leave, that there are ways to make money online that's really easy.
It's quite easy.
And one of the things we're working for that is to help people earn money for financial security for themselves. They don't have to rely on someone else to pay their bills, because I think there's a real, again, if you feel trapped because you haven't got the money to do what you want to do because you have to ask someone else, and I think typically, and this is very generalisation, but as a woman you sometimes give up your work to look after the family, and so you don't have your own money.
Yes, even if your purpose was your children,
Yeah.
to give them as many opportunities as you can. Obviously it still costs money.
Yeah.
So we'd like to help women down that route by teaching them basic skills that they could then utilise and sell online
Yeah.
for a bit of financial freedom and security.
Yeah.
And again, if their purpose is to go into social media,
Whatever.
Anything.
There's so many ways.
yes,
Because
because
we obviously run our own businesses, and there's, well, we won't give too much about what was coming. Let's keep that a pasty. And also about, and the other element of it is connection, isn't it? It's about, because that has given me such a lift, like meeting you, because it's like I've got, like, it's just a chance, like even in the car, like we're just on that same. And I think sometimes you feel so alone, and you don't want to go to that networking event, and you don't want to go to that big event because I'm an introvert, I'm shy.
we don't like networking events.
No, we
But we
don't.
love them.
Yeah.
But it's finding the right. Sometimes if you say networking event, people shy away and they don't want to
So
go.
it's not about networking, it's just about meeting
Connecting.
like-minded people
Connection.
locally, connection. Because again, social media, we're all more connected, but we're more disconnected than ever before. And I think that I'm very passionate about that, of actually, like, let's not rely on Facebook and Instagram because they could disappear tomorrow. And actually, I've got like loads of people that connected to, but I don't actually know them, and that doesn't feel, but actually
sad.
it is. But actually, if you sit around the table with people and really understand them and their story, like, that becomes a lifelong friend that will, you know,
And you never know what they might know that you need to know.
yeah, definitely. Or someone that you, and just by chatting, they're like, I know someone that does that, I'll put you in touch. Whereas I don't think you'd get that on social media so much.
No, definitely not. Collaboration, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think that
Yeah,
rounds it up.
completely gone off.
Total tangent, wasn't there?
Yeah,
But that's okay.
that's fine.
So, bye!